Hello again everyone, nice of you to join us. Pretty desperate weather out there at the moment, but nice and cosy in our cottage. Now before we set off on our next adventure along the Trent and Mersey North, which you can see shortly, I just thought I'd just explain something what we've done at our cottage. Now, when we look at all the walls and that, with it being quite old, we were looking for pictures what suited the type of place we've got, and thankfully, and we know them anyway because we've been in contact quite a few times and met them on the canal side. Narrowboat vloggers Chris and Shell do a few things. They do, you know, they've got their jobs they do, and then they've got this other part what they do. They've got all sorts of links which I'll put in the description below. But the Petal project, which is Shell, she's done a lot of lino printing, which we love, and we started off by buying one piece. And then we upped it and we had 3. And now we've got 7. Because we just love them and they suit the house. And we thought it'd be nice to show you what they look like. And they're a bit more unusual than having pictures what other people, you know, loads of other people have and all that. And they just suit where we are and we love them. And who knows? We might even get some more in the future if they suit what we have, like I say, in our cottage. But I'll put the links for Chris and Shell. The Petal project is Shell's size of things, and Chris does a little side part doing dog portraits, digital ones and that. And like I say, I'll have all the links into the below for you to go and have a look at if you want, but they are excellent and we have no problems at all supporting them because they do a good job in what they provide. Now, our adventure continues, as you can see in the map. So why don't you, or see on the map, why don't you come and join us now on our next little section. No locks, very relaxing, and again, superb weather. So come on, I hope you've got your cuppa ready, or a glass of wine, or a beer, who knows. But let's get on our way.
This is the first rubbish point since Nantwich. So yes, we do need more facilities.
It's amazing really where people chose to moor up. All this, there's loads and loads of lovely moorings all close by, and they picked a moor up near a rubbish skip with all the smells. Nothing stranger than folk.
Hey mate, can you pick me up from Middlewich and take me back to Croxton Lane in my car? Yeah, I'm by the tip where I normally am. Yeah, Croxton Lane.
We're just coming to Croxton Aqueduct now. A very thin section on a wide beam design canal, if that makes sense. In other words, wide beams have no chance. Very nice, extremely nice moorings on the left here. We probably, I think we're probably more there on the way back. It's nice and very quiet in the evening. Hiya. Yeah, I think we will. But for now we're continuing our trundle along, lock free, just taking in all this nice weather, all the trees which are starting to go all those golden and red colours. Like I say, later than normal though, but this will be a real chill out now. Life is good, and I say that because I know we're in a troubled world at the moment, but you've got to make the most of it if you're lucky enough to be able to. Besides some amazing views along this stretch of the Trent and Mersey, as you will see as we keep going, there's a lot of narrow areas because of all the reeds growing. Once upon a time they were cut back and it was all wide again, but they very quickly come back because they're not cut at the root, they just cut surface, you know, they don't get down and take them out. So very quickly they start growing back, so you just have to be wary of them. Saying that though, if another boat came and you had to go into the reeds, they're not going to scratch your boat or anything because they're quite soft. But it would be nicer if we had the full canal width. This stretch of canal where we are, and for a bit further forward as well, brings a lot of happy memories to us because we've had some really enjoyable times around here, but it is tinged with sadness as well. I'm not being miserable, but it just, you know, people and things that happen. A few years ago we came up, I think it was his last proper trip. A friend of ours, his name was Vic, I won't say his second name or anything, but late on in life he was struggling with motor neurone disease, horrible disease that, and he was finding it really difficult. And we met them at Stafford Boat Club, which is on the Stafford Worcester Canal, and we said, why don't you come with us on a trip, and if there's any issues we can always help you out. And we had a lovely time. You know, he managed to go to somewhere where he always wanted to go, which was the Science Museum at Manchester, and it was very enjoyable. But sadly Vic's passed away now, and he did have a long struggle with things, but he kept very positive, and that's one of the sad things. The other one is some very nice people on the marina at Overwater. A lady called Jen, after a big struggle, she's sadly passed away recently with cancer. They're a nice family as well, you know, and it was, you know, well, it was upsetting for them, as you would imagine. But she used to like a place where we're going past shortly called Brambles Cutting, and I think she managed to visit it one last time. I think, I might not be 100%, but yeah, she succumbed to that horrible disease, and that's why ourselves, you know, we do our little bit for motor neurone disease and cancer. You know, we can't do it. You know, we can't do everything, but it's nice to know we can do a little bit, because those diseases certainly need, you know, a lot of work doing to make them more, not perhaps if they're not a cure, but more manageable, because they're absolutely horrible. Not being miserable, that was just giving you a few bits and pieces, and we'll get back to boating as we do it now. I think some cheese and wine's on the way as well. But no, I tell a lie. Cheese and pickles. I was offered wine, but I said I'll have a glass. A big mug of Yorkshire Gold, and I'm looking forward to it. We're now just going past bramble cuttings. We used to find it, well, I think we've only managed to get there once when we've wanted to. It's always been full, but there's a little space there if we wanted. I know we did. We used to moor up there, yeah, on the left. Oh yes, we're definitely carrying on, yeah. As we're coming along now, it's hard to believe that, you know, the big wide beam boats used to travel up and down this stretch of canal as far as Middlewich, and then there was a turning point after it, you know, just for the salt and bits and bobs. Croxton Aqueduct, which we went past through, which was narrow, used to be wide beam, so obviously that's why the wide beam boats could go through. But it was damaged by flooding in the 30s, and when rebuilt it was put back to narrow gauge dimensions, which matched the tunnels which go towards the Bridgewater. Now consequently, I know Anderton Boatlift, which is currently closed, and we'll be going near at some point on our trip, and I remember when it was being redone for you know, for people to use again, we did a little bit of sponsorship as we have done on a few parts of the canal network, but it's out it's out of use again. But there, coming up the Weaver, the big boats used to come up there, and they could come up, you know, with the goods up on the boat lift and travelled the way to Middlewich. The other way, like I say, money got tight, and going to the Bridgewater, that just went to narrow gauge. So it's a bit of a mishmash, this part of the northern Trent and Mersey, and it just makes it a little bit different than other canals. But there's always something of interest, no matter how many times you come up and down this part of the canal network, whether it's the beautiful scenery, or, as you will see, there's some urban areas and some industrial. So it's a bit of everything.